One of the best ways to check for life in a tree is to obviously look at its branches, and this one is dying at the tips. It has absolutely no life at the tips. Everything just snaps off and it's pretty terrible. So where's the next spot that you can check? The next spot you can check is down here. You're going to want to look for some green trunk wood, and I call it the scrape test. I just take my thumbnail and scrape down the bark right here, and it's nice and light green under there. It tells me the tree's alive. So you can also see, if you look really closely, there's these little tiny nodes starting to pop out here where the tree wants to leaf out down below where it died. So this is what I'll do to fix it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get yourself a pair of sharp, clean hand snips after you've checked to see if the tree is alive. Is it even worth saving? I mean, I think most people would probably look at this tree and just toss it, say, we're getting rid of it. But since I did the scrape test down here, I see a little sign of life. I'm just gonna cut as low down as I feel like is necessary, just to try to promote new growth. Obviously we have a little bit of green on this branch. I'm gonna come close to the camera so I can show you the scrape test. This is a living branch, but this right here, that's dead. So you can see the difference between, say, like the inside. This is real light green. You can see the cambium layer right here. This one's dead, completely dead. So I'm gonna cut everything below the dead, leave the greenage, and see what we have left. And I am cutting to nodes. I mean, there's these little tiny ridge lines, collar ridge lines that I'm looking for. Not entirely sure what that's going to promote, but the idea is to not just kind of cut randomly. And this tree's going to come back real aggressively down here in this lower area with a lot of leaves, if it survives. So, which I think it's gonna. It's gonna come back pretty strong. What killed this tree, or started to kill this tree, I really do believe, because it was given to me by somebody who said they just couldn't keep it watered last summer. And I took it out of the pot, looked, and it's really root bound. So I think the roots are holding too much water when the tree does get watered, and then when it didn't get watered for too long, it just started dying back. There's no water getting up to the upper canopy of the branches. So the next step I will show you guys is getting this out of the pot, teasing the roots, getting it in fresh soil in a fresh pot. So before we get further into this, I'm going to show you two things you're going to want to look for before you decide, is this worth keeping? Do we have nice, healthy, green wood all the way around where our cut was? If there's any discoloration, black, or any color going on inside of the wood where we made our cuts, it probably has verticillum wilt or some sort of interior rot that's gotten up here to this trunk canopy. So at that point, if I see discoloration in the wood, that's when I do the deal breaker, where I say, okay, I'm throwing this tree out, because most tree diseases are just way too hard to try to fix. You can fix them, it just takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. So the next thing you're going to want to look for when you're reducing the whole upper canopy of a tree is that you don't cut below the graft point. And on this graft point, it was chisel graft. So if you look here, there's a V where you have real gray, kind of darker bark like this. And then, let me see if I can get it even closer for you guys. If you look, it's like a V right here and right there. So you can tell that that's where the graft point is. So as long as we cut anywhere above that graft point, we're gonna get nice, healthy growth coming out. And as long as we fix this tree, I really do believe, because this is from drought stress, it'll start to heal where the bark is receding away. It's not canker. There's no fungus in there. At least that's visible. Here you can see these roots really root bound. And you can also see this trunk of the tree has started to recede. What causes that? That can actually be caused by a lot of things. It could be a fungal disease, it could be the tree was holding too much moisture on the base right here. It could be sun scald. Yeah, the list goes on. What causes bark to recede at the base of a trunk of trees? Could be a lot of things. So what I'll do next is I'm going to rip some of these roots off of the top, expose some nice roots that are draping down, and get it in a fresh pot. Little nodes coming out. I showed you the bark scrape test. The next thing we need to do is tease these roots. So that's going to be our next step right here. It's coming in here. And I've been soaking this tree since I got it a few days ago, just to make sure we're working with really nice wet roots. And I mean, you can see it's probably too waterlogged down in here. There's a actual mushroom growing. It's not a good sign. So it doesn't stink. That's good. You want to make sure that your tree in your pots isn't reeking, because if it stinks, it has any kind of a poopy smell, it's anaerobic, it's probably starting to get root rot. And you can see I'm just trying to be real gentle right here with these roots. I'm not trying to... And you want to make sure the teasing tool you're using is like a claw. I call it like a crow's foot, because it's the least aggressive to these roots. I come in here, get these all broken up, get this terrible soil out of here. Pretty sure this soil has peat moss in it, which is just not ideal for Japanese maples. You want to stay away from peat moss and vermiculite. So let's get these roots teased and we'll get right back into the video. So you checked your tree for life. Now what you're going to want to do is pick a bigger pot, and you can see I'm not going much bigger, but I am going bigger because although I teased these roots, I wasn't able to actually cut them just because it's not winter. I don't like cutting roots during the springtime as much as during the winter. So I've got my roots teased. I'm going to check to make sure this fits in the pot real good. I'm going to start filling the pot. This next step, we're just going to be filling this pot, and you want some really good drainage. You don't want waterlogging roots. So pack the edges here. Get this baby stabilized. Now we're just going to water it in ever so gently. I've gotten the pot fully filled with our fresh potting soil mixed with pine bark. And you want to use a real gentle shower setting on your hose. Fill it up once, check for some air bubbles. Air bubbles when you first repot a tree is pretty normal. I'm liking that drainage a lot. Watering in one more time, call it good. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you would have thrown this tree away or tried to save it.